research and came to the conclusion on my own that Jinn have huge penises.
There we go.
I thought everybody knew that. Hey everybody, and welcome back to 4-Player Co-op. I'm Gladys, and with me as always are Cryptic Panther.
Hey everybody.
And doing work.
What's up?
This episode we're actually going to be down another man, similar to our last episode, but we've got 3-player co-op today, and Uberyoutuber is not going to be able to make it. He's very busy man. He's got some Hollywood production stuff he's dealing with, so this episode will just be the three of us. We'll be covering the breaking new teaser for Far Cry 5, confirmation of last episode's rumors for Assassin's Creed, and some updates for a few big franchises. And we've also just learned right before we started the podcast that there was some disappointing news announced. So, Panther, talk us through that first. What's the big news?
Sad to say, Red Dead Redemption 2 delayed until spring 2018.
Sad day. Yep.
That is harsh.
I'm going to grab the torches. You guys get the pitchforks.
Well, being Rockstar, they delayed GTA 5, you know, and that game came out. It was fucking stellar as hell. So, them delaying this game sucks. Big ass, like big sweaty ass. But, you know, when it comes out in spring in 2018, you know it's going to be kick fucking ass. So.
That's quite a big delay, though.
Yeah, considering we're recording this on the 22nd of May, like this article came out today, and they have already decided that we can't release this by October, November. Like that's 5 months.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not
like
quite. We'll say 4 months because they, mid-October they'd have to go gold by end of October, 1st November to release in actual fall, right? So, yeah. So here it is, over 4 months. They're calling it that they can't produce this game for this year. That's surprising.
Yeah.
That they, this wasn't announced, like next month or the month after. We realized, oh shit, dude, we still haven't give everybody a cowboy hat. We gotta delay this game. Someone forgot to draw cowboy hats on everybody.
Yeah.
Like fuck. So it says here in the article, it says, really to be releasing in fall 2017. Rockstar announced delay today, saying with some extra time necessary to ensure that we can deliver the best experience possible for our fans.
I believe it.
They offered up some brand new screenshots. They look, from we talked earlier, and if you look at them, they're going to be linked in the IGN article in the description. They all look kind of like cinematic screenshots, though, except for one where it's over the shoulder. I'm on the horse in the town. It kind of looks like it could be an actual possible in-game footage, but the rest of them all look like they're possibly some cinematics, which is all I usually get anyways. Same with the teaser trailer that was released. It's pretty much all cutscene and cinematics, and didn't reveal a lot of information about the game. So, yeah, this isn't the original article we had, the original topic we had to lead off the podcast, but damn.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we all agree that Rockstar can be trusted, to take us to the bank with their games as far as quality goes, and content and everything. So if they say it needs to be delayed in order to continue the standard of excellence that Rockstar has had with their releases, then yeah, like I said, I believe them. I'm not angry. I'm just sad that we're gonna have to wait, months longer in order to play this. Because we've all really been looking forward to this.
I'm the same boat, man. Disappointed, but optimistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like in someone, if down in the article, a couple of comments, someone's like, well, this fall there's, the new Call of Duty, which surprisingly this year, normally you shit on COD, are actually intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
And Battlefront 2, which, we've all shit on, we're intrigued as well. They mentioned some other game called Mario, whatever the fuck that is, coming out in the fall. I don't know what game that is. Must be for people who don't like video games. But yeah, I mean, like when you look at the games that are due to release, and we're going to be talking about some other stuff down the road here in the podcast that are due to release this year as well. So yeah, we're not going to be left with a good quality games, hopefully. But yeah, this is a kick in the gonads.
Yeah, but like I said, hopefully, with their track record, they know what they're doing, of course. And if they called it this early, then it's got to be very clear to them that they're not going to be able to maintain their release window with the level of quality that we have come to expect. So, yeah, disappointing news. Breaking. We just found out about it here before we started the podcast, but hopefully it's all for the best. And obviously we'll be talking about it more and more as we get closer.
It's Rockstar. It's got to be the best.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Our next topic here is the PlayStation 4 exclusive, Days Gone, could be Sony's next Horizon Zero Dawn. That's a very, very tall claim here.
Very.
Now, we haven't seen a zombie game. Never mind. They said in this article here it's not really a zombie game. It's just angry people.
They call them berserkers.
Freakers.
Freakers. That's
And
freakers,
I'll quote: "Are not zombies of any form or any form of the undead. They're people who are living, just turned into mindless feral creatures, more animal than human." I don't know. With this is from PlayStationEnthusiast.com. They're the ones claiming it could be Sony's next Horizon Zero Dawn. They give a few points here. And they break it down in detail. Obviously, we'll have this linked in the description, but just to break down their points even further, character development is supposed to be a really big thing. The enemies are supposed to be lots of variety. Some are going to be dumb, some are smart. So look for a lot of, if you guys haven't seen the gameplay trailers for this, it looks incredible. I mean, there's hordes, like literally hundreds of zombies, and you just mow them down very easily. Now, some of them are going to be able to be duped into like running off of a roof or run through flames to kill them. Others are going to be smarter, choosing alternative routes to chase you down or hiding, waiting to get you. So there should be some variety in the enemies, and it should always be enough to keep you on your toes. So that'll be cool. Level design is supposed to be a real big part of it as well. They showed some behind-the-scenes gameplay to a few people, and apparently this PlayStationEnthusiast.com article, whoever wrote it, they saw some stuff. And story as well. They're already drawing comparisons to The Last of Us. A middle-aged male loses a loved one. The world's overrun by infective, crazy things. So I don't know. We'll see. The last piece that they highlight is crafting, similar to The Last of Us, but with a lot more in-depth customization and parts to scavenge and such. So I first saw this a while back. This game, Days Gone, and it looks incredible to me. I'm hoping it can live up to the hype that it's been building. And with this tall claim here, I think that they're on the teeter-totter now of possibly drawing up more hype and then fulfilling it, and that would be a fantastic thing for them. But they also, when you compare with the best, people are going to expect the best.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would say cautiously that marketing wise, if I was part of this company, I wouldn't really extend my cards out that much and say, we've got the next game of the year here, possibly, or a contender at least.
Yeah, that's
until
talk about buying a big pair of shoes, right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, a zombie action game, as well as there's been many releases obviously in that category, and with The Last of Us being, I feel like, the last real big, truly fantastic one. I don't know. It's definitely got a lot to live up to with all the inspiration it pulls from. And this article on PlayStation Enthusiast makes some good points, so check that out. It'll be linked in the description here. But have you guys seen the footage on this? Anything else about this?
Excuse me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've seen the original trailer gameplay stuff they showed at E3. And then again at the Sony presser, they showed some more later on in the year. And yeah, I mean, I'm like, I want to play this game.
Yeah,
it's on my list from what I've seen so far. The bold statements like the next Horizon Zero Dawn. That's not the game company saying that. That's not Sony Bend Studios coming out saying, yeah, man, this is the next Horizon Zero Dawn. This is some guy wrote an article. I mean,
yeah,
they want to be. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be the next fucking Horizon Zero Dawn or the next Last of Us? If they can pull, together what, seems to be their goal and put it out to us, I think even if it's not the next Horizon Zero Dawn, I think we have a potential really good game on our hands.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, these guys, you know, I didn't play the Golden Abyss because it was on Vita. I don't think they've done any
As far as I'm aware, that was their
console
only
titles.
release.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and they're Sony first party, so Sony's, you know, not normally letting teams that are their first party teams fucking fail, you know,
Yeah.
and deliver shit. So we can guarantee that someone at Sony is hopefully, you know, kind of giving these guys a helping hand and where they need it. And like, we know that Naughty Dog and Guerrilla have talked. We know that Guerrilla has talked with, or has even done a partnership with Kojima. So, you know, Sony's not scared of their first party teams working together or having knowledge or sharing information. So, there's definitely potential for this game to be something everyone's going to enjoy. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping you see more at E3.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will. This has definitely been on my watch list since the first footage was released.
Me too.
So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we see some more, but this article made some good points that I mostly agree with. So check it out. Like I said, it'll be linked in the description. Work, talk to us about what happens when the world says your game is too difficult.
Well, you see, it's a tale of two different generations, I guess. Because I
Yep.
mean, when we were kids, you know, I played Ghosts and Goblins, and that shit was hard. And I don't remember the developer, you know, throwing me a bone. It was what it was. But
Yeah.
apparently now, if enough people bitch and moan about a game being very difficult, the developer will go back and tweak the settings a little bit or add another difficulty level. Just another notch in the sissification of gaming world at large.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
the precedent was set years ago, right? Because
this is
Panther and I
deep.
talked about it before. Devil May Cry 3 was like notoriously hard, and then they came out with a special edition that had an additional difficulty level. But yeah, apparently Outlast 2 has received a global rebalancing of the game difficulty update. Like, they put out an update just to do that. And they said in here that, quote, they knew the game would be demanding, that players need to be patient, they can't just run around and take risks without having consequences. And they said they came to realize that they may have pushed that idea a little too far. So what it sounds like to me is they're afraid people are going to stop playing the game because it's so hard, so they adjusted it to keep their player base.
I feel like I can't help but have the big mental image right now in my head of the cover for Dark Souls, and here's someone just saying get
Right.
going.
Right. Yeah, now, like, Dark Souls is admittedly, and they do not shy away from it, you know what you're getting into when you buy that game.
You will die. Yep.
Well,
It is very difficult.
that's the thing, though. To kind of be the devil advocate on the other side is the original last game was, I played some of it. It wasn't fucking extremely hard. There was some challenging sections in it. I never beat the game because I never went back. I played quite a bit, but I never went back and finished it. But there was some challenging parts that I had to watch some gameplay. A friend of mine was playing it, so I watched some of his videos, and there's some parts where, yeah, it's like repetitive and it's challenging. You got to time it. So, I mean, yeah, the game's not easy, but I mean, a lot of people who played the first one and picked up the second one, if they expected it to be a similar experience, and all of a sudden it's like gone from, you know, difficulty level 90 to difficulty level 215, it's like, it's a big stretch. You know, I can't say how hard it was or how hard it wasn't, because I never played other than the beta they released, which I fucking screamed like a little girl at one part of the game. I was recording it, and I was just first time ever really recording a horror game, and so yeah, I fucking screamed, and I had to apologize. Maybe I was watching my video, listening to it on headphones, because I was like, holy shit, I just fucking screamed. It was awesome. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it sucks if the game is so hard that people don't want to play it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how hard it was. I can't say how hard it was before.
And I can't either. I only played the original Outlast, and like you, I didn't finish it. So I don't know. I kind of don't like this idea though.
No, I don't like it either. I mean, if you couldn't tell by my initial commentary on it.
Right.
It's the same thing as anything else. So I mean, if the game comes out and there's a broken, they fix it. So if the game is too hard, isn't that considered, people can't get by a level no matter what they do?
Too hard on what difficulty, though? Because, just like...
Admittedly, Outlast 2 did not come out with any difficulty levels. There was no...
Okay.
There was no difficulty settings. You just played the fucking game.
Yeah. Now then, I think that gives it more of a case.
Certainly. But at the same time, right, if Vincent Van Gogh was to walk out in front of you instead of painting down and you didn't get it, and you say, I don't get it, he's not going to go in there and fucking touch it up so that you do get it. and let's get down to like the nitty gritty here. Video game is art.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it is. You're creating your vision. These people are creating their vision of a game and they're giving it out to you to experience.
All right, well then let me counter a little bit. I'll take the devil's advocate torch from Panther. If Horizon Zero Dawn had only an extreme difficulty setting and it was so frustrating that you didn't finish it and didn't get to the end of the story, how would you feel? Do you feel like that art was art and you just, you're just not good enough for it?
I would feel inferior because I was not good enough to complete the experience.
Well, how would you like to pay $60 to feel inferior, or $80 if you live in Canada to feel inferior? Like
I think there's a good point here actually. When she said there was no difficulty, that's kind of settles it for me.
That kind of goes back to our last podcast where we talked about Battlefield and like the DLC. We paid for the guns, but yet I still got to jump through 15 fucking hoops to get the guns I already paid for.
Yeah. So
I paid $60. Well, I guess this game isn't $60. It's $40 or $30 or whatever it is. This Outlast. So even if it's $40, still you paid $40 for the game. It shouldn't be so difficult and maddening and frustrating that you stop playing. So you basically give them $40 to be frustrated and
that you can't experience the content.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I understand making a game hard, but Jesus, not everybody likes to be fucking tortured when they play video games.
Yeah, the only merit, and I don't like the idea that people can complain and force a developer to change their vision. However, not having adjustable difficulty at the beginning, like I can concede that part of it.
Yeah,
that I can concede.
That's what makes the difference for me.
Yeah, same as me, because I mean, I played, like, talk about Horizon Zero Dawn, even go back and talk about like God of War. I played it on, I don't know, probably normal or whatever the first time I played it, and then probably played it on hard, and there was like, I don't know, like the highest difficulty level I tried. I couldn't even get past like the first fucking 2 minutes of the game. I'm thinking, this is frustrating. It's like, why would someone want to do this to themselves, is what I thought. Like, okay, yes, the game is like really hard, but 15 hits to kill a low-level enemy, and then the two guys are like stabbing me in the back and I'm dead. Like, holy shit. It's like, this is crazy. And then, I mean, I don't know, like I said, some people like the challenge, but to me, normal, then hard, and then like extra hard or whatever it is, that just to me is usually way over the top. So
yeah,
if this game was way over the top right off the bat, I mean, how is someone especially inexperienced with a game like a horror game or the game type supposed to be, enjoy it and want to play it and recommend it? That's a good way to alienate your fan base. So
yeah,
I think it was smart of them to do it. I mean, yeah, I mean, if it was like one or two people complaining, but they had a large, portion of their fan base say, hey, this game is too fucking hard.
Yeah, and I only think it was smart of them to do this because it wasn't smart of them to have adjustable difficulty.
Yeah. To not have it in the beginning.
Yeah. So that like I said right there, I flipped the switch and I'm on one side of this now. I was kind of going back and forth, like I was thinking on first seeing this that there was, as just about every other game, a normal, hard, extreme difficulty, and if they were saying, that the hardest difficulty was too hard, then they can suck it up because they just can't handle it. But if the default difficulty of the game cannot be adjusted and it's just extremely, extremely hard, then yeah, there's going to be a large portion of your player base that'll buy this game and not be able to experience content, and that's, to me, not fair. So yeah, it's just a weird precedent, I guess.
Yeah, it's the first time I remember seeing in the recent years. I mean, you mentioned the Devil May Cry. I've never played it, but the one you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, it's a big precedent for a game to release, and all of a sudden, let's say difficulties after the game it's been released. That's kind of a weird a weird one for sure.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, this is the second time that I can remember it happening. And at least with Devil May Cry 3, there was selectable difficulty, but even on normal, it was still like retarded. It was like the new era Ninja Gaiden or Ghost and Goblins. It was crazy hard.
Yeah.
At least you got a new character when you bought the special edition, which was cool.
All right, moving on. Panther, talk to us about the confirmation of the rumors we talked about last episode.
Yeah, so the last podcast we talked about Far Cry 5. There's a bunch of rumors talking about it being Western. You know, we're going to recap the rumors. Talk about being rumored Western. They were talking about team shooting a live action trailer in Montana. A lot of history and research being done in Montana. You know, all leading towards, you know, a AAA game being made in this area, whatever. So we got confirmation shortly after the podcast came out. If I could pull up this thread, here's a date on it, where they confirmed Far Cry 5.
I think it was 2 days after we talked about it.
Yeah, 2 days after we talked about it. So yeah, last week sometime, I think the 16th has come out. Yeah, it was the next day because the podcast went live on the 15th. This confirmation in the Ubisoft forums for Far Cry 5. It says, "Are you ready for a hefty dose of new Far Cry adventures?" And then today we get the teaser trailer.
Yep.
Live action teaser trailer. And let me say, it might not be Western, you know, air quotes Western, old school Western, Cowboys, Indian style Western, but it's in Montana and it's Far Cry 5.
Yep.
So a lot of those rumors were bang on. And if you haven't watched the trailer, it's linked in the description. There's also, I think on the PlayStation YouTube channel, the trailer is broken down into 4 little mini ones. The one I'm linking is the one Ubisoft made from their channel, and it's like all together.
I think they released it in pieces, like as a teaser, but this is the full one.
If you went to, like, I think it's either Sony's or PlayStation's, I don't know which YouTube channel it is, but there's 4 of them broken. It's broken down into 4 little smaller clips. But I tell you, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I mean, we could talk about the trailer. I mean, the birds in the shot of the woods, and you hear people screaming, and the birds flying away. It's like, it's so mysterious. And then it shows the river, and it's like, oh, look at this beautiful serene river, and there's a fucking dead body floating down the river. It's like awesome.
And then the part that I was cracking up, the church bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just smashing a guy's face into it.
Yeah, ringing the church bell with someone's dome.
Yeah, they definitely took a less is more approach as far as this trailer is concerned. But for me, it was signature Far Cry. Ever since Far Cry 3, you know, they started really focusing on villains and everything, and like there was a hint of madness to everything in the game. You know, It wasn't like a straight survival thing. It wasn't, you know, customization and crafting. It wasn't fully action. It was a little bit of everything, but like there was always just madness, you know, at the fringes of everything that you kind of did. And yeah, just seeing like these little bits of like, you know, beautiful scenery and everything. And yeah, what really got me was the church bell. Just like I started grinning immediately, and I was laughing, and I was like, "Yeah, this is Far Cry. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm excited."
Yeah, me too. I've been a fan of I didn't play Primal. I watched quite a bit of gameplay footage of it, but I never did pick it up and play it.
I played it. It was good.
I was a big fan of 3. Big fan of. They're just fun games to play, and the fact that I'm hoping this is going to have co-op back in it. It just fun game to play, and it's something that I appreciate in games made. Yeah, okay, there's a story, there's cool villains, there's good characters, but the game itself is just, if you want to go into like a village and just start fucking shooting the place up and blowing shit, you can just go in and play the game and have fun. You know, and that's one thing I like with the Far Cry games, is you can just play the game and have fun. You don't have to take it serious all the time. And yeah, so I'm excited that it's going to be looks more modern. It looks like more modern than the rumored Western, because from the screenshot or from the videos and the trailer and stuff, you can tell that it's not. It's definitely not. What do you call it? Set in the old school Western time.
Right.
So
yeah, it's more of an in between.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm definitely stoked for whatever they're gonna bring us. There's an actual official trailer coming out later this week, and as of right now, I'm not gonna confirm it, but hopefully this weekend we'll get a chance to couple us jump on and maybe do a discussion on it as well. But stay tuned. The 26th, I do believe, is the official release.
Yes.
So like this Friday.
The release of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday.
Same is my birthday.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like it's a time period that's largely untouched in video gaming. I'm very interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, when I did a little bit of research after watching this, I was doing a book report on Montana. It looks like it's set somewhere between 1910 and 1930, just based on a little bit that we saw. And that period of time was kind of an upheaval for Montana. There was a lot of stuff going on as far as industries rising and falling.
Yeah, because like the railroads are expanding.
Yep.
Cars
mining was huge, and agriculture, farming. It's a good setting. It's a good time period and setting, as far as I can tell.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from that, because when you watch the trailer, there's no like modern vehicles, modern cars, anything seen, but the telephone poles and stuff like that around the church kind of say, well, it's not necessarily old school Western. And I mean, and even the guy running in the field looked like he's wearing like it could be jeans in the t-shirt. It's hard to tell, but it doesn't right off the bat ring through old school Western.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really project the time period, but yeah. A lot of people were speculating too. A couple quick comments I read was possible like cults and stuff around Montana and like the different religious cults and groups and stuff that are in those areas. So they're wondering if that's going to be a basis for a protagonist, or antagonist, I should say.
Maybe that would make sense as far as Far Cry works. Like thematically, that fits. Yeah.
So I'm stoked to see the actual teaser trailer, and I know now the Ubisoft E3 presser is going to have more information as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be awesome.
Just get more and more stoked. E3 is going to be kick ass. I think this year is going to be a good year for games.
Yeah, and it certainly has been so far. But
yeah,
we've had a hell of a year for gaming, from everything that's already happened and everything slated to happen.
Exactly.
2017's been awesome for games.
Heck yeah.
All right, moving on. We're going to touch into a little bit of uncharted territory, no pun intended. The Netflix, their whole film and TV, how they're creating their own shows and everything. Now they have partnered. They announced that they're doing a Witcher-based TV series. This is pretty big. As far as gaming goes, obviously gaming is very mainstream now in 2017. It has been for a very long time. Games is part of everyday life for a lot of people, whether it's mobile games or lesser inferior forms like Nintendo consoles. Anything that you can find, PC games. People play all kinds of stuff all the time now. And nobody laughed at my Nintendo jab, so now it just fails. I was expecting a little bit of support there, fellas. You let me down.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So the writer, and this is a Polish novelist, he's written 8 novels based on The Witcher over the past 30 years. I'm going to attempt his name. I think it's Andrzej Sapkowski. Sapkowski is kind of easy to say, so we'll stick with that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Now, he does not profit from the game series, the 3 Witcher games that have been released. They, I guess, just took the rights and, gave him a lump sum. So he doesn't profit from their success. So he's going to be a creative consultant on the Netflix series. He says he's thrilled about it. And a guy named Thomas Baginski, who directed the intro videos for all 3 Witcher games, he will be directing a movie version of The Witcher that's coming as well, and will direct at least one episode per season for Netflix. So between 8 novels of backstory with The Witcher, there's plenty of material for them to choose from, at least for inspiration, even if they don't follow the exact source material. But they've got the writer involved and somebody that's also experienced in The Witcher games. So this is great news all around. I'm excited. We don't normally talk about what's going on in TV or movie land. For us, it's strictly gaming most of the time. But Netflix has been doing a lot of really, really good things, and it's just been snowballing for them. Like, it seems like they can't really go wrong.
I hope they do well, man. Because
I mean, the production value and stuff is fucking high.
Well,
so
they got that money, right?
Yeah,
they do
it. But this is the first video game television series jump that I remember. Is that right? For really any video game.
Really,
that
that's
I can
true.
recall. I mean, I know there's a handful of movies out there, and Uwe Boll's doing his thing for a while, but we've never seen anything more than 2 hours on screen.
That's
so
true.
It's
There's
very interesting to see how they're going to do this.
Yeah, video game adapted to a TV show. This has got to be. It's got to be a first.
Yeah. So let's say this takes off and it's really cool. Now I'm going to throw a question. I'm going to put you guys on the spot.
Okay.
If you had to pick another video game franchise that you'd like to see made into a successful television series, what would it be?
Ooh.
Right? I saved this question for you.
Damn.
Elder Scrolls.
Like,
what?
In
Elder
total,
Scrolls.
or just one of the games?
Well,
I guess
not
it would have to be
necessarily
in total.
one of the games. In order to make a series, you could pick any one of the time periods. I mean, sure. If you say the first one that I started with was Morrowind, I'm
with you.
Yeah, you could pick any one of them.
Season quote could be based on a different time period and area of Tamriel. Yeah, that could be good.
Necessarily have to be, but yeah, I think there's obviously a ton of lore that's based in the Elder Scrolls
that's the thing, right? Because you'd want to say something like, "Oh man, Last of Us," but it was one game. Like, it has to be enough game where there's got to be enough there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can take a video game and go a movie because that's easy. Like you can do a Grand Theft Auto. You can do a goddamn Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I mean, you do a Grand Theft Auto 5 fucking movie. Because it wasn't. The whole game was an action adventure movie, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bank robbing, shoot 'em up, racing cars and shit. So it's a TV show. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's something that you want to have some legs.
And that's the direction I was going of. I wasn't thinking of like what's a good story. I was thinking more on the lines of like we need like a fully populated world with lots of lore. Like that there's many stories to be had. And Elder Scrolls for me fits perfectly in that. Just almost a knee-jerk reaction, I think is the right one for my gut. Yeah. I say that either that or and I know there's tons of actual Star Wars content being produced now, but I would love to see an Old Republic series picked up by Netflix. I know that's actually been something that's been talked about.
That'd be cool.
Been in the rumor mill, but I would love to see some like massive, Jedi, Sith, many Force users, the Old Republic setup. I would love to see all that. And I think, again, another universe filled with plenty of lore and plenty of stories to be had between the extended universe, all the old novels. I know they're no longer canon, but Disney has retroactively, picked a few things here and there.
Oh, absolutely.
So, if they could make some type of partnership and make that happen, abso-fucking-lutely. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the thing is, too, with Netflix, like I said, their production value is there, and they don't have to worry about appeasing what do you call those sponsors? Yeah,
yes,
because they don't have it's the people that pay prescriptions as their sponsors, right? They don't have to worry about this is PG-13, so we can't have any liquor commercials or blah blah blah. There's no have to worry about that shit.
Yeah,
so
that
it can
or,
be
episode 6 dipped below 3 million viewers, so we're going to cancel your show.
Yeah, so I mean, they don't have to worry about every episode, like nudity and the violence and stuff like that. It gives them a pretty broad spectrum to do what they want on their own service. So like that, I mean, this could be a big step for fans of video game series is to get something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, even
pick?
me, I don't know,
I named
man.
2, so hit us with something else.
Jesus, I don't know. I'm sitting here racking my brain. I don't know. I mean, it's so easy to say for a movie, but I mean, fuck, Uncharted could make a hell of a TV series.
Yeah,
It could.
I have.
I
have 2, and they're gonna go back.
I mean,
Taking it way back, huh?
Jeez, I'm racking my brain.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. Fuck.
So check it out, right? Metal Gear.
That could work, yeah.
Metal Gear could work, and this is like super far left field stuff here, but Metroid.
Oh man.
There's
Wow.
10, 12 video games.
Yeah, there would be an opportunity
worlds,
there.
Different, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Not
I
a lot
see
of
Metal Gear.
experience with the series, but
of backstory and like canon to Solid Snake and that whole situation.
Yeah, and the games have touched on different time periods with each release as well. So yeah, there's plenty of material there as well.
Digging it. That'd be cool.
Now Metal Gear might be just a little too weird. I think you would have to change quite a bit in order to bring it to a mainstream adaptation.
I think Metroid would be easier because you could just go. If Battlestar Galactica can work, then this can work.
Yeah. So I mean, if they went with if they kept it in it'd be definitely interesting. Geez, this is.
I'd also like to see the Legacy of Kain series, but I don't know that there's enough lore involved. But like the
you know what? Actually,
vampire.
We are forgetting as far as things being produced from games to TV. Castlevania has a series in the works.
Wow.
Interesting.
Did you guys not know that?
No.
Yep, I just remembered it.
We don't normally discuss TV. Even video game
he
related.
said Legacy of Kain, and for some reason that clicked. And,
they're both based around.
What about like Mrs. Pac-Man or Tetris? Can we get one of those?
User in your channel has disconnected.
Yeah, right.
No, I would not be interested.
Fuck, neither would I.
Well, they made the Pac-Man movie, right?
Yeah, fuck, that's going old school. Fuck, that's too funny. Yeah, but I'm definitely interested to see what they come up with. Like I said, they seem to have some people involved that know what they're doing. So and Netflix, like I said, they know what they're doing when it comes to making good stuff. So.
Right. See example House of Cards.
Yeah. They've got several years of experience between putting out their own content now. So Netflix is a juggernaut as far as TV is concerned now.
Yeah, they definitely got it going on.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. Work, talk to us about the... We've been talking nonstop about Ubisoft, I feel like, the last few podcasts. There's been a lot of news involving them.
They're doing big things, man.
Kicking into gear. Well, tell us what they're doing now.
So they have basically announced that they're going to release 4 AAA games in the financial year 2018-2019. And 3 of those are going to be IPs that we are all familiar with. And referring back to the article here, where's it at? Ubisoft confirmed that its lineup is still set to include Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, The Crew, and South Park. But then it also says, with regards to the new intellectual property, there will hopefully be some more solid details released soon, which tells me that it's not South Park. I'm assuming that the first 3, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and The Crew, are the 3 AAA IPs that everyone's familiar with.
Yeah.
We're hoping that E3 is probably going to be a good time for us to hear a little bit about this mysterious 4th AAA IP. It could be another big announcement coming from Ubisoft. And I don't know if you guys read this, but just under that article, there's...
I just scrolled.
Yeah, I just saw that. New Dragon Age apparently confirmed by BioWare writer.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And that article is dated today at 3:24 p.m., so that's fairly recent, just a couple hours old.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hadn't seen that either, so breaking for us here immediately. Yeah.
Dragon Age is the jam, man. It's good stuff.
Yes, it is.
If you're an Elder Scrolls hater.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's any juicy tidbits here.
About Dragon Age? Or
Yeah. Nothing other than it's announced.
And if you keep scrolling down,
it says that it's hard at work. Alexis Kennedy, freelance video game, is involved in creating its lore. Well, that's cool.
Okay.
And if you keep scrolling down this article, just confirmed, Days Gone will be at E3 2017 in a big way.
Where's this at?
If you keep scrolling down, like the Game Rant article, you keep scrolling down.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah.
And if you keep scrolling down, this is just the never-ending goldmine. Mario Kart 8 mod makes Kirby as a playable character.
Yeah, well, if he's not inhaling the characters in front of him and using their moves, then they're doing it wrong.
There's an alien multiplayer VR game currently in development. Jesus.
Yeah.
This is all... I
All
went through this... Enough. Yeah.
So I vote for next podcast. We just open this page and just scroll.
A live reading and reaction.
Right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, because there's... Yeah, definitely...
There's all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah, Ubisoft doing big things. E3 is going to be awesome. And yeah, moving on.
Okay. Panther, another confirmation from last week. Talk to us about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so we... Yeah. We gotta listen to the Ubisoft podcast. So the Assassin's Creed UK Twitter tweeted out, it says, "Sharpen your blade, assassins will soon step out of the shadows." And all it is a gif on their Twitter that says the new era begins, and then the Assassin's logo appears. So confirmed. We talked about it, and we knew it was coming. We just didn't know really anything. It was to be this year, be next year. We still don't have a date or anything. Excuse me. I'm going down with a cold. Damn it. But there's more alleged leaked details into Assassin's Creed Origin. There have been plenty of leaks for upcoming Assassin's Creed game, which said to be named Assassin's Creed Origin, but it looks like the leak is about to become a flood. A new leak has detailed that the leaks aren't leaks, but controlled releases. Just like I say, I don't believe a lot of things are leaked anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, they go all over a list of things. Leaks aren't by accidents, which I don't think a lot of them are. There'd be no towers in the game. You'd be using an eagle for side activities and points of interest. Characters will all speak English, like in Unity. This is because of the Animus 5.0. It's in-game information. We have a new modern-day protagonist. He's male and mixed race. Already a trained assassin and his new team that helps him achieve his tasks. So it's not like you're going to have to start out not knowing what you're doing. You're going to already jump into being a full-fledged assassin. So that'll hopefully, anyone that doesn't want to go through the boring thing of learning shit, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no naval combat. He says it isn't really just sailing a boat used for travel purposes, just like The Witcher 3, just a tad more customizable. He states numerous times the world is breathtaking, beautiful, and there's ambient stuff going on in open seas. Better to sail than to miss the stuff by fast traveling. So it's not like Black Flag, but yet it's not just jump in a boat and like quick travel across the
right.
So there's a bit of everything mixed up. There's a long list of stuff here. Combat has been reworked. Enemies have different attack patterns that will actively try to flank you, kind of like Witcher 3, but easier to get into. That's one thing with the Assassin's Creed series. The combat sometimes is a little too easy, So they're changing a bit of the combat style. It shows progression in game. It says here, reasons why Assassin's Creed does not make its way to Japan is because the higher-ups don't see it being successful. They made China for Chronicles and please the fans, and it was a big whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, Ubisoft, if you're listening, you're stupid. Take it to Japan. Ninjas are like the perfect,
I know
how the connection hasn't been made.
That's the thing, though. Maybe that's the thing. They don't want to be, they don't want to be, we'll just, pigeonhole into assassins, ninjas. That's where everyone sees it going. So I don't know. I mean, I always thought it would be.
They make one. They made one with a Native American dude. You make one and then you do something else.
Yeah, I believe it would work. I believe it would work. I don't think that it'd be a mistake.
Oh, I think it would absolutely work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, has there ever been like a really cool, good AAA title where you got to play as a ninja? And I don't mean like a side-scrolling platformer like a Shinobi or a Ninja Gaiden, like an open world sandboxy game where you got to be a ninja and just fuck shit up.
The last really good ninja game I remember was Tenchu: Wrath of Heaven.
Yes, I remember that.
That was a badass game.
Yeah, it was. I really feel like Ubisoft's making a mistake by not doing that.
Well, maybe
it also says no Switch version, which I think is a big mistake because the Switch is just something that sucks. I can't.
Nice try. You tried.
I did. I tried. That was shout out to Uber. That was for you, buddy.
So yeah, being a non-Uber podcast, there's definitely not going to be any toting for the Switch at all, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, I've always said before that leaks this day and age are more controlled, leaks than actual. Oh my god,
it's just subtle piecemeal marketing. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for what they're bringing to Assassin's Creed. Like I said, that it always felt like a series because it was kind of yearly release type of deal, and it was like they just kind of beating the series into the ground. But them taking a break and kind of coming back and reworking some stuff, I think it will breathe some more life into the series.
Yeah. Well, I think it was also a really, really wise move to not do yearly releases anymore.
Yeah. Gives them a chance to smooth out and actually release a game they don't have to patch to fix a lot of broken mechanics and stuff that are always kind of synonymous with the Ubisoft games and release. So, yeah, like I said, I'm excited to see what they're coming with. Their E3 conference is going to be fucking huge.
Huge, yeah.
Jesus, they got a lot of shit to fucking cover in their hour and a half. Yeah. So, E3's going to be busy.
I know, man.
So
I really hope
because
that
of it.
work's not super busy because I really want to sit in front of a computer and just watch all this stuff. But...
And one thing I like about it, I was reading that the Sony one, it actually starts at like 5 Pacific, which is 9 o'clock my time. Usually it's like 6 Pacific, which is 10, and I have to work the next day at 7 in the morning. So it's like, damn, like a 2-hour thing that puts me, to fucking midnight. Now at least it's only, if it's 2 hours, it's only 11 o'clock, which isn't too shabby to grab a few hours sleep and before
work the next day. Weren't some of those things starting at like 1 or 2 Eastern as well?
They do, yeah. Microsoft and stuff like that earlier, but yeah, they've announced that the Sony one's going to be at 5 Pacific. So,
wow. So I wonder if they had to pay more to get like a quote prime time slot.
They always are. They're always the late and early evening, or what you want to call it. Every year that's for there. Microsoft usually first. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess when all you are is a rerun of a 1980s action movie and the new episode of Law and Order's coming out later on, what do you do, right? Or Microsoft. Or Microsoft. At least the people in the crowd can sit with their Switches and stream it on YouTube. Oh, wait a minute. No, they can't do that.
Well, no, they can't do that, but at least they can hook up and play multiplayer together. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
They need their smartphones out for that, don't they? And make sure they bring a non-Nintendo product headphone because
easy.
I really like that he's not here to defend it in any way, and he's gonna listen to this later and be like, "These guys are dicks."
He's already saying that anyway,
right?
He knows.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, we're gonna move on here. The second to last topic we've got for tonight: Elite Dangerous. Touches down on PS4 June 27th. So, not too far away. And for those of you guys that don't know, Elite Dangerous is a galactic exploration simulator, kind of like the older, more serious brother of No Man's Sky.
I was about to say, is this going to be good No Man's Sky?
Kind of. It's notoriously like hard to get into. From the PC crowd, as far as I'm aware, because, after the whole debacle of No Man's Sky release and people figuring out it was as shallow as a puddle, a lot of people were making the comparisons of Elite Dangerous, like, oh, this is the game that we wanted from No Man's Sky that we didn't get. So a lot of people went over to the Elite crowd, and yeah, it's a hardcore simulator. Like, there's definitely a lot more depth to it. And I want to say this game has been out on PC for several years, and the universe is so huge that they actually, maybe 6 months, a year ago, I'm not sure how long, but not very recently, but somewhat recently, they actually just stumbled upon an alien race in the game for the first time ever.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like, that's how big it is, yeah.
So it's got a procedurally, why do you say that word? Fuck.
Procedurally generated.
Yeah, like, is it?
Yeah, in a way. Now, it's not claiming to be the biggest game ever, kind of like No Man's Sky is, but it really has a lot of stuff in there to do. There's a ton of things in there to do, and there's definitely more customization, and you can pick this path or that path. It's a lot beefier as far as content and choices are.
Yeah, I watched the trailer on it for when I posted the article in here for today, and it's like, yeah, I was like, what is this? Because I've heard bits and pieces and about the game, like mostly in the PC side. I'm like, oh, it's coming to PS4, so it's like, oh, something I might be interested in. So I watched just the trailer so far. I didn't really want to get into too much actual full-on gameplay from stuff, because I don't know how much you could be spoiled, right? I'm more like, I'll watch one trailer and kind of wait, and then that's about all I have to watch.
Well, for a game like this, you wouldn't have to really worry about spoilers.
It's
not necessarily story. It's
right. Like, yeah, after I watch the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not like an Uncharted game where it's a linear story. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check out some more gameplay of it. And I'm definitely looking to see what happens when it comes out in June. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks cool. There's a YouTuber by the name of Blitz that has a really big, like 38 episode Let's Play on this game.
Okay, wow. You should link him in here, and I'll look at it later.
I just happened to come across that on YouTube. I just searched it on YouTube. It was the first big series that I came across. So that's cool. Yeah. I might have to check some out. Just kind of
I definitely want to learn more about the game and see what it's like before launch. It could be something to definitely get into.
Yeah. So like I said, the direct comparison you can draw is this and No Man's Sky. Like I said, this is the older, mature, beefed up version with more depth to it.
No Man's Sky was squeaker.
Yeah, massive squeaker.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, looking for that on PS4 June 27th, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm most likely going to get it. Yeah, looks good. So, moving on, last topic that we got here. This is where I'm going to sign off and leave it to you guys. Just kidding. But, Work, talk to us about Destiny 2. You got a whole lot of information here.
Yeah, well, I watched the live stream, and I don't even think what was it, Panther, like 20 minutes long or something like that? It wasn't huge.
No, they kind of covered a lot of...
But there was a lot of information that got put out.
Yeah, I think it was longer than 20 minutes, though, I do believe.
It may have been.
I'll try to go back and find it. It was on YouTube, and I'll try to link it in the description so everyone wants to go through and
watch it. A lot of what we got out of the live stream was all stuff that we expected. New campaign, new strikes, new raid, new worlds to explore, etc., etc. Like, we knew all that stuff was coming. So things that we didn't know that were coming and are welcome additions at this point are. Players will be able to launch activities from patrol, and I'm taking that to mean before, if you were in a fire team and you were traipsing around Venus and you wanted to go into the raid that was on Venus, you had to go to orbit and then assemble your fire team and then go back into that activity. I'm taking that in the context of I can now launch that raid, that strike, that mission, whatever it is, directly. I can just walk into that area and then launch that activity if I have the right number of players. Which may be wrong, maybe right. I don't know. Sounds
well. I took that as well. I don't know about the raid, but I know from what I'd have to almost go back and rewatch it, because like I said, there was a lot of stuff they talked about. There was kind of information overload. If you're in other words, if you're just patrolling around on one of the planets and all of a sudden, there's a strike here. I've got people here. Let's see if we can launch it, or if there's an event or going on or whatever. You don't have to worry about going back to orbit to
which was a pain
engage.
In the ass.
Yeah, to engage in another part of the map or another activity on the same planet. And even still, it says you can actually go to another planet without having to go back to orbit.
Yes,
so it's going to cut out. It's going to cut out a lot of that loading to orbit, getting into orbit, and then selecting a new planet, and then going. And so it's going to cut that out. It's probably still going to be a loading screen, but it's going to cut out that extra step.
Absolutely. And the quote that, and I thought this was important, so I put it into my little notes here. Luke Smith said that the goal with Destiny 2 was to put less things between your gun and the enemy's face.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny 1 had a lot of, again, back to that orbit thing. You had to go to orbit, then you had to drop down. You had to go to the tower, then you had to go back to orbit, then you had to go. There was a lot of sitting around and waiting versus actually playing the game, and it sounds like they recognize that and have actively done something to try and curb that issue, which is really cool.
Anybody that's played Destiny is like, fuck, I want to do this now, I gotta go back to orbit, or shit, I went to orbit, and then I selected the wrong fucking gang, and I gotta go back to fucking orbit again.
Yeah, like you said, especially if you launch an activity and then you realize that you forgot something in your vault. I mean, thank God for things like Destiny Item Manager or Ishtar Commander, where it curbed the need as far as items. You can transfer stuff on the fly, but before those things came out, it was 5 minutes that you had to just piss away.
Yeah, load back to orbit, then go to the tower, go to your vault, pick up your shit, go back into orbit, go back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so cutting that out is definitely going to improve the fluidity of the game.
Oh yeah. They've also announced that clan support is being added to the game. There are clans in Destiny 1, but it's nothing more than a title of the clan on your emblem. You don't really get anything from it. You don't get any bonuses from playing with your clanmates and activities. And it sounds to me like they're going to try to encourage people to play this game together, which is, I mean, at its core, Destiny is a game to be played with friends. It's a cooperative experience. And building on that, they've announced guided games, which is crazy. I mean, listening to the guys talk about this stuff was really cool. I mean, those of you that listen that played Destiny know the pain of having 3 people in your fire team, you and your 2 buddies, and you guys want to do a raid, and you cannot find 3 more people. And then when you do find them on LFG, they're squeakers, or they don't have a mic, or they're eating glue. You don't know what's going on. Man, I'm telling you. Panther knows. That's part of the reason Panther quit.
One of them, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I mentioned before, I burnt myself out of the game. That was my own fault. The frustration of PvP was another thing for me. But it was trying to get into raids, and I had a lot of friends that played it on a regular basis, but it always seemed to be we were missing 1 or 2 people.
Yep, and schedules. I mean, you got guys that play left coast and west and right coast,
and then when you find somebody. Then they have 2 or 3 friends that are jumping in the chat. Go, oh man, can you give me a save point? Oh man, can you give me a save point? And then like everyone's so worried about jumping in and out of the game to give someone the save point. And then okay, let's die so we get the save point. He can leave, and the other someone come back. And then they're all like, oh, I never played this part before. Then you're trying to get 4 people to explain it to you, and it's like, whoa, it's like not everyone's on the same level because it's on the same page. I should say, not level. I mean, skill level is one thing, but not everyone has this. When you're playing with your friends, everyone kind of knows one or 2 people kind of lead or kind of, give instructions. But when you get like 3 people you're used to playing with and 3 people you don't fucking know, and they're all kind of, fuck. Too many chiefs. Too many.
It looks like
too many cooks.
And as a result of that experience, things like the Destiny Sherpa subreddit were like born into existence. So there's a group of people that actively look for inexperienced players and guide them through these in-game high-level activities with, they're a very saint-like patient group of people. And this guided game seems to kind of take that concept and integrate it into the game along with clans. The basic gist of it, they made it seem like you'd be able to look at a clan's page and read some of the information about some of the players in the clan, things they've done, etc., and all these other things. And then you can try to pair with them. And when someone from that clan sees that, there's someone who wants to pair with them, they can kind of bring you in, but you're not a part of the clan. It seems like a really interesting way to bring people together in the game versus having it done on the internet.
As they said, because of the fact that, a lot of people that played the game, if you're mostly a solo player, maybe you didn't have a lot of your friends playing the game, and maybe you're not very good at making friends. Who knows? But there was people that couldn't experience some of the strikes, and the rates because they
Absolutely.
didn't even have enough friends or couldn't find how to, couldn't navigate to find friends to incorporate and play these things. So adding in-game clans, you don't have to be a part of the clan to play with them. So yeah, like I'm like, yeah, I kind of got away from Destiny and was like, yeah, I'm fucking done with this. But seeing the changes that they're bringing to this, I'm like, man,
Yeah,
I might be playing Destiny too.
Yeah,
I really might
they
be.
took a bunch of legitimate concerns and complaints and directly addressed them in a positive manner. And of course, this is all speculation because this is what they're telling us. However, if you take it at face value, it's
well, yeah, you have to until release. But I'm like, they're saying that I mean, these guys are coming out here and they're not. This wasn't just like off the cuff reporter reporting this shit. This was their actual live event. So you can bank on what they're telling you to be as truthful as possible. They're not going to backpedal on all these changes.
Yeah, it's only going to shoot them in the foot.
Exactly. So I'm stoked for it. And plus, like I said, there's a beta coming. I just hope that they do like a full open beta like they did before, where anybody can play it.
Yeah.
So that they can say, hey, here's the game. Everybody give it a try. And that way, I'm definitely going to try the beta.
Absolutely.
I just don't want it to be a pre-order beta. I'm tired of those.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It says beta coming over the summer. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction right now. Write it down. Send it to your congressman. 7/7/17. 7/7 is Bungie Day. They always do something special. Right in the middle of the summer. I feel like that's when we're going to get the beta. And it's probably going to be announced at E3.
There you go.
They also say, this is very strange, Destiny 2 is going to be on PC.
Yes.
Destiny 1 was not on PC. And Mike Morhaime from Blizzard announces that, and I don't know if this is all aspects of multiplayer play on Destiny 2 for PC or just the PvP aspect of it, but Battle.net is gonna handle that. I guess Destiny's not building their own front-end matchmaking service, etc., etc.
I thought that was a curious choice.
What's that?
So I thought that was a curious choice.
Really?
Yeah, it was very. I was surprised. I mean, Bungie's got the clout to do it.
Yeah, but I just meant Blizzard stepping forward to a non-Blizzard IP, and
it's interesting on
extending
from both
their network.
sides.
Well, it says Destiny 2 will be available exclusively via Battle.net, so the only place to buy it on. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. Excuse me. It's going to run on PC because there's an article that says there's no dedicated servers for Destiny 2 on PC. So I don't know how that's going to incorporate. But I know a lot of people, if you read the comments, that were on Reddit about it, they're already saying, "Well, I guess I'm not buying that game." So
well, you know what? They say the same stuff about Call of Duty, which doesn't use dedicated servers, and Titanfall, which doesn't use fucking dedicated servers. Battlefield's like really the only big AAA shooter title that uses dedicated servers that I'm aware of. So it's not like the precedent isn't there. And,
exactly.
It
doesn't
really
affect me as a console
It will definitely be,
gamer.
especially if Blizzard's involved, because they kind of have a reputation, especially on the PC side, for having their shit together. You don't really hear about crazy lag issues and stuff with a game like Overwatch, which is Blizzard.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's a bad choice. It's just definitely an odd choice when I heard it as well.
It is, yeah, it is.
Being a non-Blizzard title, but
it is very much, especially since they didn't really say what the depth, I guess is a good word, of that relationship is. Yeah. I have to imagine that there's more to it from Blizzard's standpoint to just having the purchasing and the hosting of the game on Battle.net. Like, I wonder if they're going to be involved in any of the content down the road in some sort of way. Like, how deep does that partnership go? Is it a partnership?
Yeah, it could just be a front. It could just be they're going to handle the store for the PC.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I mean,
they
like
have
I said,
all that
that's
timed exclusive stuff with Sony, so it's not like they could go to Microsoft and ask Microsoft to do it.
Exactly.
Microsoft would tell them to pound sand, right?
Yep.
They'd be like, take your Hawk Moon and get the fuck out.
So I mean, it's definitely. I'm definitely, like I said, I am interested from watching that live event or press conference, whatever you want to title it, for the changes they're making. And like I said, the two is the fact that it starts off where new players can just jump in and play the game. You don't have to play the previous Destiny to know kind of what's going on. Absolutely. So that's a smart move.
Absolutely. So, and I can tell that Baker is just beside himself and waiting to speak on this topic.
No.
You never give Destiny. You only played a little bit of the beta. You never, I don't think, give the actual.
No. I played full release Destiny.
Oh, did you?
I actually made the mistake of buying the digital version, so I couldn't return it and get it back. So yeah, it's been sitting in my PS4 digital library, unactivated and left alone for several years now.
So what was it that just turned you completely off? Like what about the game did you
I was
not like?
expecting a primarily single player experience with multiplayer aspects, and it was the opposite from what I could tell. I didn't like that I was starting in some area and that there was random people all around my area affecting things in my area that I didn't want them to be connected to. Like I would log in and I'd start playing and there'd be, 2 or 3 other people, and like maybe it's like a forced matchmaking thing to make it multiplayer driven, but like I didn't necessarily know that or understand it.
Okay.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't argue that.
No, yeah. I can't say that's a bad thing, but yeah, I mean, I kind of like the thing is, like, no one could steal anything of yours, though. Like,
it wasn't like a possession thing. It was just, if I wanted to play the game a certain way, I'd have Leroy Jenkins over here doing his thing, and it would fuck up my experience.
Sure, okay, yeah.
And I didn't have a choice in that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like the aspect of you jump into a game and you random people and you just, you like, especially when it comes to public events. It was so nice whenever you were low level and you had a public event. It was so nice to have, 3 or 4 randoms show up and help you kick the fucking monster's ass. So, because, some of those at low level you never do by yourself. So,
yeah.
It definitely, I mean, like I said, that's a lot of what I liked about the game. But like I said, my biggest thing was I burnt myself out grinding, and that was, and trying to find a raid team was kind of like my two biggest reasons I quit playing.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
I guess was misinformed or misunderstanding the game's setup when I got it. And I got it based on, all the hype and all you guys were going to get it. I was going to be the next big game for us all to play together. And yeah, I just dropped out very early. Said, no, this wasn't for me. So again, with all this stuff, they're making more changes. That's even more multiplayer driven and all these different things you guys are talking about. Sounds great for that type of experience, but that's just not for me.
You're looking for more of a linear space style game.
No, not
really looking
linear,
for. You were expecting more of a.
I was expecting more of a single player experience.
He was expecting Space Final Fantasy.
No, not quite. But
like I said, I mean, that was a thing. That definitely, if you bought it thinking it was something else, I understand. Like I never understood why you didn't like it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not really a secret. Just
no.
Yeah. I expected something different. I didn't like not having full control over my experience and random people. I could very well see that early on I was going to get extremely frustrated and angry down the road, if I was really trying to do something my way or whatever, and constantly, the entire time I'm playing the game, having to deal with random people not doing what I wanted them to do and having no option about it,
Yeah.
Just I didn't like being forced with random people like that.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the news we got for you guys today on the podcast. Make sure you tweet us any questions or comments, or leave comments on the YouTube channel as well. You can find us on SoundCloud. At Twitter, we are at 4Player Co-op Live. So leave us a comment on whatever your preferred platform is. Let us know what you thought. How awesome we are for breaking 2 rumors last week and confirming them this week. That was pretty cool, I thought. A little pat on the back for us.
Big time.
Yeah, so we've got the Far Cry 5 trailer dropping in the next few days, and like Panther said, we're not confirming right now, but we're hoping to get another midweek podcast sometime next week, maybe next weekend, hopefully getting it together enough so we can break down some of the breaking news for you guys. If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks like our regular scheduled routine is, and thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you later.
Later.
I would like you guys to, listeners, to comment on, going back to that Witcher thing, comment on the game series that you want to see made into a TV series.
That's a good one. There you go. Yeah.
I'm curious to see that. And for those of you that live in Coupon, Pennsylvania, eat a dick. And everybody
discount.
Else, have a good one. Yeah, have a discount penis.